Oh hey, how's it going? In today's video, I'm gonna be building that cute little planter on the back of the truck there. As always, in all my videos, there's free plans in the description below, so go check those out. Also, say hi to my new shop mate, Manny. He's gonna be helping with the build today. I'm gonna be opening all my videos driving this truck here until Ford decides to sponsor me with an F-250 Lariat. I'll see you inside the shop. So I've been needing some extra help in the shop, but the only person I could afford to hire right now was Manny. So you can see him in the background. He's sporting some of the new t-shirts I have for sale. You can check those in the description if you want. Manny's pretty much just in training right now, but I got some big hopes and plans for him in the future. Anyways, as you can see here, I'm using a total of 5 cedar fence pickets for this entire planer box. I'm using a planer right now to mill down one of the sides just to smooth it out. You definitely don't need to have a planer to do this build. It'll look just as nice if you use a sander at the end, but I have a planer, so I'm gonna use it to speed it up a little bit. But if you don't have one, don't worry, you don't need it for this build. So once I got 5 boards smoothed out, I'm gonna take it over to the miter saw and I'm gonna cut 6 planks at 18 inches. This will be for the front and back panels of this planter. Once I get 6 planks cut at 18 inches, I'm going to cut 7 planks at 14 inches. This will make up the bottom planks and the short side walls of the planter. Now I've been needing a new workbench in my small garage shop for a long time now. And in my last video, I finally built this mobile workbench and I'm absolutely loving it so far. So once I get this moved around here, get my table saw ready to go, I'm going to adjust my table saw to 1 and just under 3/4 of an inch. I'm then going to rip 2 fence pickets, so I get a total of 6 pieces at 1 3/4 of an inch. We're going to use these strips for all the legs and the trim on the planter. I like to run the 3rd strip of both cedar fence pickets through one last time, just to clean it up and make sure that they're all the same measurement. Moving over to the miter saw, I'm going to take off the factory edge of those trim pieces. Then I'm going to set my saw right at 31 and a hair degrees. When I designed this in SketchUp, the angle came out to 31.4 degrees, so I'm just nitpicking at this point. You can definitely just set your saw right at 31 degrees. It's going to work just fine. I'm then going to cut 4 leg pieces with this angle on one of the ends on the top. Make sure they're all the same length, right at 15 inches. And don't forget, I do have plans to this entire build, every measurement, every angle in the free plans in the description below. Once I've got those 4 leg pieces cut, I'm going to take 2 of the 18-inch side planks that I cut earlier, going to mark it right at 9 inches in the dead center of this plank. And if you want to get really nitpicky like me, you can angle your miter saw at 58.6 degrees, or if you cut at 31 degrees on your other leg pieces, you can just put it right at 59. 59 plus 31 equals 90, and that's what we're going for here. Then just gonna use the miter saw and cut from the bottom corner all the way up to that center pencil line. I had to be careful here when I was cutting that second side because there's no reference point once you start cutting along that second side. So when you're holding the board in place, keeping your fingers as far away from the blade as possible, obviously, you don't want to push it into the miter saw. You actually just want to push it straight down onto the base. Once you cut that far edge, you don't want to be pushing the board into the blade. And just like that, we've got 2 perfectly pitched roof pieces that are matching identically. So now we can get to cutting the other 4 leg pieces. There'll be 2 leg pieces per corner of this planter. So using those leg pieces I previously cut, I lined it up on the edge of another 1 3/4 inch trim piece and just use that to mark my cuts. You do need to put the miter saw back to 31 degrees. Once I got one cut, I took it over to the first 4 leg pieces that I cut and just made sure that the angles and everything lined up perfectly. If it wasn't flush, I just shaved it off until the angles were matching as perfect as I could get them. And once I got those 4 legs cut, I maneuvered my handy dandy workbench here so you guys could see what I was working on a little bit better here. Before I put any of this together, I wanted to just take 120 grit sandpaper, go over everything quickly, and then I used a trim router with a 1/8 inch roundover bit. 1/8 inch, that's right, 1/8 inch roundover bit on my trim router, and just went over the sidewall planks, the long 18-inch ones and the 14-inch ones as well. I just like the look of when you're using cedar fence pickets, when you butt them up together. Having that little round over just makes it look a little bit more decorative in my opinion. To put these babies together, we're just going to be using some Titebond 3 wood glue. That is the waterproof version, and these Boss Stitch 1-inch 18 gauge brad nails with my brad nailer. So for these first leg pieces, I'm just going to make sure that the top angle is flush with that roof plank. Add some wood glue and tack it in with about 2 nails per board, and 1 on top for good measure. Going to do the exact same thing for the other side. Once I get one of these walls done, just going to repeat the exact same process on the second wall. For these top roof trim piece things, I'm not sure what they're called, but top roof trim piece thing sounds good to me. I'm just going to line up one of the 1 3/4 inch pieces that I was cutting earlier for those leg pieces. Line it up with the tip of the roof, make a little mark, come back over to the miter saw, set it to 31 degrees again, then just play around with it and make sure that each piece fits correctly. I also didn't think this through, and I only planed one side at the beginning. Should have planed both, because when you're cutting these trim pieces, you gotta flip them over. So had to go back and sand with 120. But after that, just use wood glue and nails to tack everything, hold it in place, and then repeated it for both sides of the planter. Now when I'm building things like this, I like the trim to fit nice and tight. So I normally don't pre-cut the trim pieces for most of the planters. I like to measure as I go and make custom cuts per side, because they're not all going to be the exact same measurements. I'm working with a lot of imperfect fence pickets. So for the bottom trim, I'm just measuring each side, cutting some more 1 3/4 inch strips, using glue and nails to tack them in. And at this point, both 18-inch sides should look something like this. So now we're going to move on to putting the second leg pieces on. So I'm going to take those other angled legs that I cut. I'm going to use my woodworker's vise on the workbench that I made. I'm still freaking out about this thing. This makes my building go so much faster having this thing in the shop now. If you guys have watched my other videos, you've seen me work on that flimsy white little plastic folding table for a few months now, and this has been a long overdue need in the shop. Moving on though, pretty self-explanatory here. Just gonna line it up, making sure that angle is flush with that other leg, and you're just gonna use glue from the top all the way to the bottom, and use your brad nails to tack it in place. You do want to make sure that the overhang is on the inside of the box. You want the outside to be flush with that first leg that you've already installed. That overhang is what we're going to be tacking the 14-inch side planks to. All right, so at this point, we should have 2 front and back panels that look just like this. We got them trimmed out. We've got all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 legs on it on both sides. So now what we're gonna do, we're just gonna stand these up like this. We're gonna take these other side panels right here, put the sanded, routed side down, or facing out of the box. We're just gonna add glue and tack them in, just like that. On these 14-inch side panels, I like to use 3 nails per board when tacking them to the inside of that leg. Just line them up with the top of that angled leg, get one side assembled, and you're just gonna flip it over, do the exact same thing to the other side. So now I'm gonna need some support ledges for the planks that are gonna go and make up the bottom of this planter. So I'm just taking a piece of scrap wood from an 1 3/4 inch strip, and I'm just gonna adjust my table saw to roughly 5/8 of an inch. I'm just making sure it's enough wood that I can comfortably shoot some brad nails in and not worry about it splitting. After that, just gonna run a bead of glue down it, shoot some brad nails in it. Just make sure that these support ledges are tacked to the front and back panels of this planter box. I do add a few extra nails in here. The glue is gonna be stronger than the nails, but I figure a few extra nails will make the bottom a little stronger. This is what's going to be supporting all of the weight of whatever you fill this planter box with. All right, so now that we have the support ledges installed, I'm just going to run a bead of glue down the top of those support ledges and add the remaining 3 14-inch planks. And I use about 3 nails per board here, evenly spacing them apart. When we're done, it should look something like this. So let's go ahead and move on to the top trim for the roof. So I'm just gonna measure the top of the roof all the way to the outside edge of the leg. I just want it to overhang about 1 inch, so I'm cutting these top trim pieces to 13 inches at a 31-degree angle on my miter saw. Once I get 4 of them cut, I'm just going to line them up, add some glue, and tack them in with, you guessed it, some more brad nails. When I do attach these to the top of the roof, I want these to be flush with the inside edge of the box. So you should have a lip sticking out over the outside face, just like you see here. Once you get both sides of the roof trim done, I'm just going to measure the distance between those 2 trim pieces, and then go back over to my miter saw and cut some trim. To make sure these things don't go anywhere, I'm just adding glue to any parts that is going to contact the wood, and then I'm just running about 3 or 4 brad nails at an angle so that it attaches to that top side 14-inch plank. Gonna do the same thing, just measure the bottom for the bottom trim, mark it, and cut it on the miter saw. Add some glue, brad nails. We're just knocking these things out now. Gonna do this to both sides of the box. These are the last pieces of trim we're going to need to cut and attach to the box. So once we get all the trim installed, it's looking good. We just need to do a little bit of sanding. You can skip this step, this is optional, but if you want to make it look a little bit better, smoother, more refined, sophisticated, embellished, cooler, whatever word you want to put here, go ahead and sand it. If not, just leave it as it is. All right, it could be done as is right now, or you can add some spar urethane, which I'm gonna do in just a little bit here. It adds a little bit of a richer color and also makes it last a little bit longer outside. I also, from the fence picket, cut this 5/8 by 5/8 inch piece, and I'm just gonna make a couple windows and adorn the front here. My wife and my kids thought it'd look cool if I put it on there. So let's go ahead and cut this to size, tack it on, and then we'll get to finishing this thing. If you're wanting to put some windows and doors on, you can make these any dimension you want. However, the dimensions that I've chosen happen to be the cutest dimensions. So if you want to know what those are exactly, I think they're 5 by 4.5 for the door and 2.5 by 3.5 for the windows. But I have all those dimensions in the plans, so you can double check those if you like the way that I made mine. If you don't like the way I made mine, well, that kind of hurts my feelings. I'm just kidding. Moving on, I'm going to add a little door handle because why not? And then I'm going to use some spar urethane, as you see here, and use this ridiculously undersized paintbrush. It's the only one I could find. We're just gonna put a nice coat over the entire box here, but I'm not gonna put any on the inside since this is a flower box. I don't know if this is gonna hurt the flowers or not. I probably won't, but I'm gonna play it safe and just not put it on the inside. You can give this a light sanding after the first coat, add a second coat, sand it. You can put 2, 3, even 4 coats on it if you want until you get a look that you're happy with. All right, that's it, guys. Get your free plans in the description below. Also, YouTube told me that 70% of the people watching this video are not subscribed. You freeloaders. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, subscribe, like, share. It really helps the channel out. Allows me to put more free plans out just like this one. If you guys like this video, check out the one over here. I bet you like that one too. I don't know why you're still watching. You should go watch that video over there. All right, I'm out.